You gotta be careful.
hmm So we talked about if this was something like, let's say, Google, for example, instead of Facebook that went down or got taken down, what would the public response be? What would your response be personally?
Google,
Yeah.
Google owned the whole world, dude. So if Google goes down, they're taking half the planet, like
Man,
like half the planet's technology probably.
yeah. For me, it'll be like
So
it'll be astronomically worse. And then on the plus side, there's a lot of people that feel like Facebook and Instagram are deleterious. I think that's the word I want to use to like society because of the content that's
mhm.
on there. So they'll feel like, okay, well, Facebook is gone, Instagram is gone, hopefully TikTok too. They just go away,
Oh
and
gosh,
now
please.
the world's like I wouldn't say a better place, but it would feel like a different place, like the old school before Facebook came around. Because at first,
Yeah,
Facebook was actually pretty decent and pretty good. It was a good idea. It's just become something way, way worse now.
yeah, yeah. I feel like every bad thing on the planet, well, not every, most bad things on the planet came from like a actual good reason they were trying to make it, but
hmm
then somebody else thought like, oh, I could use this for this bad thing instead.
That brings up a Jurassic Park 3 reference where Alan says most bad things are built on good intentions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I know like because we should just talk about the documentary now at this point because the documentary pretty much covered this, like all those guys. So basically, the documentary called what is it called again? Social
Spoiler
Dilemma.
alert. Yeah.
Man, yeah, that's true. But should I spoil it though?
Let's be vague. Well, let's talk about the facts because the facts are still gonna be there regardless.
So the people who were interviewed for the show were all people who were previous employees for some social media or they work in tech.
hmm
Um, and I forgot what I was going to say. No, damn it, my brain.
It's all good. It's all good. Let's say that the guy who worked on Reddit had to do a code to get off of Reddit. He had to write
Oh
something to
yeah,
get off of Reddit.
yeah. I mean, because I also try not to spoil the thing, because I feel like if you, I took so much notes, dude.
Yeah, me too.
I could literally give a play by play everything that they said in the whole documentary
Man.
right now.
hmm
But so I guess I'll give the three main facts that I learned from the documentary.
Okay.
Hopefully that don't spoil stuff.
Yeah.
One, I learned that they don't actually sell our data in the way that we think.
hmm
So now people think, oh, they're selling our data. That means like they're selling like my name, my friends, and how to like basically my credit card information and all that. No, they're not selling that.
Yeah.
What they're selling is advertisement.
hmm
So they're making you basically advertisement. Like let's say that you're a cow to slaughter, and
hmm
advertisement is a slaughterer.
mm
Basically, we're cows to the advertisement, basically.
So
So they sell us to them.
what I could add to that is people were saying that things like Google, which you think is free, is not free. We are the products. We pay in
Mhm.
the perception change, our data that we put in there, what we look for, and the choices and lack of choices that we make.
Exactly. So, excuse me. So, like, that's what they're selling. And then the second thing I learned is how are they selling it,
hmm
and or how they get you to stick around. And basically, what I learned is that they make their things purposefully addictive and tailored towards people so that they could retain you. I actually have notes on that because I thought that was an interesting fact. Let me see if I could find it real quick.
hmm
It said tech companies have three main goals. They have an engagement goal, a growth goal, and an advertising goal.
hmm
The engagement goal is to drive up usage, keep you scrolling. The growth goal is to keep you coming back and have you invite friends to it. And an advertising goal is to make money from advertising to you and others. And then each goal individually is powered by algorithm. And the most, I guess, what's the word you use? Deleterious?
Deleterious? Deleterious.
Yeah. The most, the worst one to me is, or the most detrimental one to me is
Uh-huh.
an engagement goal
hmm
because that's how you will get addicted to it. So you want to keep them scrolling. You don't care what you show them,
Yeah.
keep them scrolling. And I think that's part of the problem why we have so much disinformation. Because if people find the disinformation more entertaining
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, like it's, for instance, if you're like a conspiracy theorist,
Yeah.
okay, the algorithm identified that you like to see conspiracies, it'll just keep showing you conspiracy after conspiracy after conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're and then you could become radicalized that way. You
Yes.
know,
Mm-hmm.
if you're like the Russian government and you want to impact America in some way, you could spread disinformation using social media. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened. Actually, that has already happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Russia used social media to spread disinformation and affect American politics.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, go ahead.
So my biggest issue kind of was
Oh,
that.
wait, sorry. And then the third thing, there was one more thing. So the third thing was how it's affecting people's ability to have interpersonal relationships. That was the next thing that was also
Yeah,
part of it.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So there's an addiction to social media we know about, but it feels like no one behind the scenes is actually trying to figure it out, even though they know how bad it can be.
Yeah, because there's no monetary incentive to do that.
Exactly. To cure this addiction would be harmful for their revenue.
The shareholders will be affected.
Mm-hmm.
Their revenue will be affected, as you said. So, you know, I'm not trying to bring politics into this, but I've had discussions with people on the right where they feel like the government should not be involved in anything, and government should just let people decide with their dollar what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, if you allow people to decide with a dollar, what happens when the people are being manipulated, which is
Exactly.
exactly what's happening with social media.
Mm-hmm.
So now people are paying into something that's detrimental to humankind without even knowing it, and you expect the companies to be moral. The companies are very likely not likely to do that because they're making profit, and that's all they really care about.
Mm-hmm. So
So go ahead.
when I ask you in our talks offline about notifications, because I know people, like people that hate notifications, like if they see one red circle on their phone, they have to figure out why it's there. And I'm that way kind of, because if I already looked and it's still there, it's like, why are you there?
Right.
And then the thing is that when you see the red circle, let's say you see it on Facebook, you go into Facebook, you go to notifications to get rid of it, but then you see something that looks fun, then you look down, and now you're scrolling again, and you never really went to see what notification was. You get back out the app, and you see, oh, it still have a red circle there. You go back in the app again, it's like a cycle. So that's one reason why I got off it, because I took off Facebook notifications from my phone, so I would not go back in at all. At all.
One thing that I did was YouTube used to be that for me.
Yeah, I
YouTube
know.
would
You
give me a
told me that.
notification
Mm-hmm.
and I would have to like check it out.
Yeah.
So what I did was YouTube had this thing where you could do batch notification basically.
Mm-hmm.
So at a certain time of day, it would be like you have 19 videos or whatever.
Yeah.
And that helps me a lot because basically throughout the day, I wouldn't necessarily check them, but I
Mm-hmm.
would have to get them off my screen. So I'll be like swiping right, swiping right, swiping right to get them off. Or I would have to hit clear all.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just one thing that says, oh, there are 31 videos
Yeah.
that are new. And I could just swipe one thing instead of having to swipe each 31 video individually. So that saved me a bunch of time.
I would do that, but sometimes there's videos that I don't know. There's some stuff that I would like to watch when it comes out, just to be there for the
Yeah,
premiere.
they got you. They got you, bro. They got you in the algorithm. They know. They know you're not going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, push
I
these
mean,
notifications.